Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel again. If you guys don't know me, my name is Ayush. I'm a graduate student at Penn State, and today we're going to talk about how do I actually deal with stress. And I really want to start off with what actually is stress and how does Jeff Bezos describe stress.
Is that stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over.
I think this is the perfect definition of stress. So stress occurs because you are actually procrastinating your work when you are supposed to do it. And this usually happens because you are not good at time. And this happens to almost everyone. As a graduate student, I already have too much with a full-time graduate school. And on top of that, I'm doing YouTube and content creation because I love to do that. And I always get into a lot of stress about not meeting my own personal needs and demands. So in this video, we are going to talk about how I actually deal with stress, and this is my own personal take on stress and how I actually deal with stress. It is not necessary that you have to be a graduate student in order to apply these techniques. There are different kind of stress depending upon your work environment, and today we are going to talk about dealing with the stress of different work environments through three particular methods, and they are going to be release, reflect, and rebuild. So when we talk about release, this is actually a way how you can release your stress, and there are different ways in which you can release your stress. For me personally, there are three ways in which I release my stress. The first one is going to be hitting the gym and weights. The second is going to be soccer, and the third is going to be table tennis. The secondary factor that I also take into account in order to release my stress is get highly caffeinated. Whenever I'm stressed, I've noticed that I drink lots and lots of caffeine, which is actually not good for your health. It is actually a bad habit of mine. I'm trying to get rid of it, but I'm actually having one right now. But this is my first caffeine for the day, so it's worth it. It is not necessary that you also have to have the same way of release stress. There are other ways in which you can release the stress as well. For example, getting a massage, walking outside, planning your day, Tai Chi, therapy, and so much more. According to my personal experience, I think it is really important to release your stress. After we release our stress, then we move to the second category, which is going to be reflect. Why was this stress in the first place? You really want to reflect on why were you stressed in the first place itself, because there are actually a lot of good things for you to do rather than being stressed. And it is really important to reflect on what was actually the cause that got you stressed in the first place. And one of the best ways in order to reflect is go to therapy. But unfortunately, therapy doesn't work for me because I am very bad at expressing emotions. So what I actually do is sit down and journal. So in the past, I did digital journaling in Notion, and that did not accurately work out. I would say it worked out 50% and did not work out 50% because of two things. The first one is I was actually not journaling regularly. For example, if today is Friday, then I was journaling actually back on Wednesday, and by Friday I forgot everything that had happened back on Wednesday and Thursday. So that was one of the main reasons why it did not work out. The second reason why I think it failed is it was actually not drafted correctly. So every time I was journaling, I was just focusing on the things that I did not do right. So there were no prompts when I was doing this journaling. So it has actually been around 2 weeks or 3 weeks I started paper journaling. So there are a lot of journaling ways, and you can find bunch of videos on YouTube about journaling, how to actually write prompts in something. And this prompt is specifically for me, and the questions I actually asked in this prompt is what was your highlight of the day, what could have been done better, and the last one is how excited are you about tomorrow and why. Because these prompts answer three particular questions. The first one is what went well and what you can do better tomorrow and make it good as it was today, and the third one makes you prepared for tomorrow. I have been doing this for past 2 weeks, and I always try and keep on experimenting with myself because I'm a creature of habits, and I'm always finding out the best ways or the best things that I can improvise in my life in order to make my life better. Talking about me, myself, and I am a creature of habit, it leads us to the third category, which is rebuild. And by rebuild, I mean that there needs to be some kind of change in your system and habits that is going to help you reduce your stress or no stress at all. What this also allows me is to track my patterns. You always want to focus on your day, on how good and how bad your day went, and if it was very good, then you want to figure out a pattern on why it was very good, or if it was very bad, then you also want to figure out a pattern why it was very bad. So from next time onwards, you just want to stick with this good pattern and you want to stay away from that bad pattern. The other thing what you want to focus is on your calendar. Once you reflect on why you were stressed, now you actually want to tweak your systems or habits in such a way that there is no way ever again that you are going to fall into the same bad pattern like before that caused you stress in the first place. For example, you actually had blocked your calendar in order to do the particular work that you did not do when it was supposed to be done. Rather than doing that work, you actually binge watched a show on Netflix, which is quite common and happens to everyone. That has happened to me before, so no big deal. So what does that reminds and reflects you is you finish your given work at the same time block that you assigned in your calendar. With that, you are actually preventing yourself from unwanted stress that is supposed to happen in the future, and you can actually binge watch that show where your calendar is actually free and you do have time to binge watch the show, which I think is actually a hypothetical scenario because that has never happened to me, and I every single time happen to binge watch the show. So that was actually the 3 R's in which you can manage your stress. First one, reducing your stress. The second is reflecting your stress, and the third one is rebuilding your system and habits, which is going to prevent happening stress in the first place itself. So I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe and comment. It will help me a lot to grow this channel. Till then, stay safe and I'll see you again soon. Peace.